Hello. And what's up? What's up? What's up, you guys? Happy Saturday. It is the mailroom messages from Mail with TaShon and Friends live in the studio 101 TKO Radio. We are back this week, y'all. I have my friends, Mr. Takeover. How you doing, Mr. Takeover?
I was doing good. I was doing good. Just got a brain scan here recently, but I'm doing great.
Awesome. Well, you're not awesome sauce about the brain scan, but awesome that you're here. You're here.
Yes, ma'am.
We have our friends Evelyn in the building. How you doing, Evelyn?
Doing well, doing well. Always a pleasure to be with you guys.
Always great to have you. And we have a new friend, Coach Pleasant Smith. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. We're gonna get more with her. She's a dating and life coach, y'all. And we have Nelson on the ones and twos. How you doing, Nelson? Nelson? You feeling good? Sitting over there in that 101 TKO radio merch. Listen, before we get started, if you all have not downloaded that app, the 101 TKO radio app, do it now. So you can hear all of the good music, the conversation, meet the other personalities. Do that now. Go ahead. It's free. Download it. It's not going to take you but 30 seconds or so. Download that 101 TKO radio app. And the mailroom messages from him with TaShon and Friends is being sponsored by Swag Her Magazine, Privy Stone Crest, TLC Coaching, and Looks by Miracle. So, and again, thank you all so much for joining us today. It is a beautiful day here in the A. Listen, before we get started, the brow goes to, y'all ready for this?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
The brow goes to your President Joe Biden.
Oh Lord, Uncle
You
Joe.
done gave the folks $700 per family.
Mm.
Y'all, can somebody please explain that to me? $700 per family
Uncle
for the
Joe.
fires. Yeah, your Uncle Joe, he gets the brow from me today
Uncle
on that
Joe.
one. He gets seven. Then he said for the medications or whatnot. Listen, a hotel room in Hawaii is going to start off about $200 a night. You got $700.
He was talking about the hotels in the jungle. See, and the hotels in the jungle, they range from about 50 to 75. So give him a break.
700
Give him a break.
$700. And then he said one time $700. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't get into politics. I don't
I'm
have time
sipping.
for all of that.
I'm sipping my
Never
tea right
heard
now.
of it.
I-
Sipping my tea.
you know, sipping on everything. I'm like, we continue prayers for the people of Maui and so forth. It's just devastating. And you know, the US, we can 700. So the brow, he gets the big brow. And the other brow goes to the people criticizing Blue Ivy. This y'all grown. I'm watching people on the online, grown women criticizing this 11-year-old girl for her dancing skills.
Dancing.
First of all, this girl is performing in front of millions of people. First of all, hands down to an 11-year-old performing on the stage with her mother. And then you got grown women like literally criticizing her all throughout. And I'm just like, this is and it's sad. It is very sad. Can't even dance or sing or nothing. But you got the audacity to like literally open your mouth. Like the comments were just disturbing. Like, and these are grown women because you know I clicked on some of the pages. I'm like, wow. This y'all are criticizing this 11-year-old girl. So
Yep.
hands down to Blue Ivy. They said she did her thing. And when they came to the ATL, they shut down ATL. So they did their thing. That don't make any sense. But hey. And listen, what's going on here in the A? Well, your district attorney, Fannie Williams, indicts former President Trump and his posse.
Uncle
The
Trump.
trial date is set for March 4th, 2024. Uh, can y'all imagine all of his friends and him being booked at Rice Street? That's what
Yep.
everybody waiting on.
Mm-hmm. Man, they're gonna be outside. They're gonna be outside. It's gonna be like a parade.
He gonna be
It'll
booked
be a
at
parade.
Rice Street. Y'all, if y'all not familiar with Rice Street here in the ATL, everybody and their mama done went down to Rice Street, including me. Ah, lock him. Rice Street, y'all. So I don't know. Are they gonna proceed with the arrest or what? I don't know how that works. They indict. What are they supposed to do next? What
They
happens
need
next? I don't
to
know.
arrest.
According to the last that I understood, the next step is supposed to be that they have a certain number of days to surrender. And if they
Oh,
don't,
Woo!
there
They put out
is
that
the
warrant.
arrest
They're gonna put
and
out that warrant.
procedures thereafter.
Mm.
oh, so they gotta come looking for him.
I'm gonna put that warrant out for them. All right, that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Him and
Yeah.
his 18 posse, his friends. I said, if this ain't America, we so ghetto.
Bruh,
We are ghetto.
man,
We
I
put the
love to
former
see it.
president in jail, but I don't think he's going to jail. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think he's going to jail. I don't
Man,
think so.
Don't
I
think
don't
so
know.
either.
I don't think so. You
He
think
gonna
so,
be
Nelson?
on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think nobody want to be the first person to put, you know what I'm saying, convict the actual
Yeah.
president.
Yeah. I don't see. I just don't see them. I don't
Y'all
see
gonna
him going to jail.
y'all gonna see him on the campaign trail in 2024.
No, that I
And I
don't
would
see.
not be surprised if he won.
Yeah.
I am not
That's
gonna
what I'm
lie. I would
saying.
not be
They're
surprised
gonna
if
let
he
him
won
win
again.
just to put him in jail.
Put it.
and have him serving from prison. They will be the first president serving from prison.
No, that would be something for history.
You're right. That darn Trump, yo. If you don't get any other message from this president, he is telling you you can do whatever you want. This is America.
Yeah.
Be who you want to be. You can do whatever
Yes,
you want
wanna
and keep
be.
it moving. I
Yes.
I
said,
think
ain't this
I
something?
think I think Mitch McConnell, who I don't quote very often,
Yeah.
had a very, very good point when,
Mm-hmm.
after former President Trump was acquitted, Mitch McConnell
Mm-hmm.
stood before Congress and said, "You did everything. It is all your fault. You are completely responsible." Right after Mitch McConnell's vote acquitted him of insurrection regarding the January 6th activities. So
Mm.
you can't say that people don't know what he's doing is wrong, because they do.
Right.
There's a reason that they're allowing it, and
Yeah.
that reason has to be, I won't say it has to be revealed. We know what it is. There
Yeah.
are too
Yeah.
many people who want the ways that he has behaved to become the norm.
Say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say it.
So
Yeah.
my heart chokes to say this, but I fully expect for him to be acquitted again. I fully
Yeah.
expect one
Yes.
or two of his buddies to take the complete fall and go to jail. But after
Mm-hmm.
they put him back in the office, he's going to pardon his friends.
Yeah.
That's I
Yep.
hate to be right. I don't
Yeah.
want to be right about that. I would love to be wrong.
Right.
However, considering the track record of how things have gone, if this
Mm-hmm.
goes the way things have gone in the past, that's exactly what's going to happen. I hope, cross my fingers and everything, that I'm wrong about this, and that somebody has enough backbone to say, you are
They
doing
don't.
wrong. It doesn't matter who you are.
They
If
don't.
no one is above the law, then that means you too.
If he was
Right.
black,
Right.
they would. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
See,
would have
would.
been
I
up under
can't.
the jail.
Mm,
Listen.
A
But
long time
DA
ago.
Fannie Willis, she ain't playing. She like bring it on. She like let's go. So yeah, we shall see. Other than that, I'm sipping on my Kool Aid and eating on
Yeah,
popcorn.
need
That's a
some,
it's a
need
big
some,
show.
need some
This is
alcohol.
America. Listen, I got a huge announcement. Y'all ready?
Hmm.
Y'all ready
Yes.
for this huge announcement?
Okay, go ahead.
Y'all ready?
Yes.
Okay.
We won $1 million.
Well, not quite, not quite, not quite. Shannon Sharp will be joining ESPN's First Take with Stephen A. Smith.
Okay.
Y'all happy about that? I know most of y'all men happy
Yeah.
about that.
Yes.
So here comes the
Yeah.
big announcement.
Okay.
Here it comes. It is preseason, and y'all know I have officially. I'm giving y'all right here, 101 TKO Radio in the mailroom, my official teams. So it won't be no mess this football season. Okay. So y'all already know I'm a Raiders girl. They still LA Raiders, but Vegas Raiders. That's my number one team.
Let me write this
Okay.
down.
Yes, please write it down because Chef doesn't believe me. I text him and he just like laughed in my face, pretty much. LA Rams, that's my second team. And of course, I'll add in the ATL Falcons since I've been here. That's my big announcement.
Why you say it like that?
That's my fish. So I don't want to hear nothing else this football season.
That was kind of dry. Yeah, I
Why?
need you to I need you to re-say that one because you said LA Rams, like you had such a bright smile on your face. Like we need to redo that one.
What? Those are my teams. Those
No,
are
no, no,
my
no, no.
two.
Yeah. The last team you said, you need to say
Was
that
the
one again.
Falcons? Well,
Yeah,
I
you need to.
mean, I'm gonna say the Falcons because I've been here and I used to have the Falcons jerseys and all of
Okay,
that,
okay,
right?
all right.
And then I'm just like, okay, I'm a Raiders girl. I'm a Cali girl, so that has been
Mhm.
my team. It is
Right,
official. It's
right,
on the books.
right.
That's who I roll with.
How long you been here?
Since 90, 91.
90,
That's
91.
what 30 some years now.
Okay, 30 years. All right. I
Yeah.
need that 30-year
Oh, with the
enthusiastic when you
Falcons?
say with the
No,
Falcons. I
I
need
mean,
you
I'm not like no. I no. I'm just saying, like, I definitely will be rooting for them when they play was it New Orleans? because I don't want them coming to the
Ah,
city.
ooh,
Yeah,
shade,
yeah. Hey,
shade,
I I cannot stand them Saints fans, the fans.
shade,
So that's
shade.
my big announcement.
Mm,
I don't want
mm.
no status from none of y'all, Nelson and none. I said who I am. I'm a Raiders girl, LA Rams, and then I throw in the ATL Falcons. So
And like she just throw it in there. She ain't put them
I
in there.
just
She
throw it in
threw
there
it.
because I do live in the city. So I'm just saying. So we won't be no issues. Okay.
Whew. What was that
Won't be
dance
no
that they did when they went to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I can still do the dirty bird dance and all that. Do y'all still do the dirty bird dance? Nelson? I'm that late, huh? No, also I'm that that's the last time I really celebrated the Falcons like that. But I mean, Falcons good team, but hey. So listen, we got a good show today. We're talking about single and ready to mingle. I posted, and a lot of people said they are ready to mingle. So when we come back, we're gonna get into this conversation. Are you really ready to mingle? We have our dating coach. We got Miss Evelyn on here with listen. Y'all better download the app because we're about to spit some knowledge on this topic. Are y'all ready to mingle? You're single and you're ready to mingle. Are y'all really ready to mingle? We're gonna see. So listen, after this song break, when we come back, let's jump right into this. I'm ready. I want to know what everybody thinking. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
Ready?
ready? Cause y'all
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah,
Cause
yeah,
because I think we
yeah.
got some facts, and some people may not want to
I
hear
need
this.
some
So
I need to go get my
Mhm.
Pringles.
I know LeBron don't sound excited. He don't sound excited
I need to go
about
get
it.
my Pringles.
Listen,
Pringles.
101 TKO Radio and the mail room will be right back.
two, and one.
And we are back live on 101 TKO Radio in the mail room. Listen, go ahead and download that app like right now so you can hear this conversation that we're about to jump into. Now, the last week we talked about being single, the relationship status. Y'all remember that conversation, right? Are you
Right.
single? You're married? Is it
Mm-hmm.
complicated? And I posted on my page, and um, I was getting a lot of hits and I was getting a lot of inboxes. They were saying, "Sis, I'm ready to date, but the dating pool is just horrible. This, that, and the other." And so, but the thing was, that seemed like it was the common denominator among a lot of the comments. People said they are single, but they are ready to to mingle. So listen, I have Coach Pleasant here. I don't know why I said Pleasant Hill. You know what I'm thinking about? Pleasant Hill Drive.
You really want that man to go though?
Okay, let me get it together. Stop sipping on your drink, LaRon.
Yeah.
What you sipping on? See, that's probably the problem. Because I don't know why I was thinking about Pleasant Hill. I don't even like driving 85 North. Why, Pleasant Smith. How you doing, Coach? And listen,
Hi.
I got to make a disclaimer, Coach. We
Hi.
act up. You can act up too. We act up. So,
Okay. Okay.
you know what? I didn't have my volume down. I am off. I'm like, okay, let me get back on track.
Trump don't got you.
I don't even think it's true. I'm thinking about Rice Street. That really did have me by the Rice Street. Y'all know where Rice Street is. Y'all know. I got a lot of folks down the Rice Street that are still waiting on trial. So they down there. They waiting for Trump. Listen, so we have Coach Smith in the building. How you doing, Coach Smith?
I'm doing great, and I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Do you want us to call you Coach Pleasant? What do you go by, Coach Smith or Coach Pleasant Smith?
Anyone work? Pleasant is really my first name.
Okay. Oh, I like that. That is cool. So she is a certified dating and life coach. So she's gonna bring her knowledge to this. I don't know what to call it now, because everybody, like I said, people said that they are ready to mingle, but
Mhm.
they are saying they're literally saying that the dating pool is trash. Do y'all believe that? Y'all,
I've definitely seen the comments. Definitely.
That's my opinion. Just my opinion, and it's not
Mhm,
everybody. Um, I do think the terminology of trash comes in from because even though the world has seemed to be introduced to therapy, people really are not therapying.
mhm,
So it's a lot of hurt people still out there hurting people and not being serious about
mhm,
what they're, and it's on both ends. Even the person that say I'm ready to mingle, are
mhm.
you really?
Right.
Right, right. Are you really ready to mingle? So Coach, tell us who you are and what do you do? We know that you're a dating coach, but what do you specify in? Do you help people get ready to date and mingle? What is it that how do you help with this?
Okay. Yes, so I am a certified relationship coach with Relationship Coaching Institute, where I started as a general coach and then specialized into single. So that's my specialty. And because of the experience that a lot of person, as the comment said, dating is trash.
Yeah.
Um, it really has to do with the the space that you're in. I think
Mm-hmm.
I know that it is a fact that it is not easy, and when you're on the dating scene, you come across a lot of different type of energy and personality. But at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, it's where you are and the healing part of it, and what you intend to get out of it. And so, as a single coach and having been through it, having first-hand experience with close families and friends, and
Mm-hmm.
then as a professional about it, it's real. But
Mm-hmm.
what I believe in, like, just as they talk about some sickness, is to not just treat it, but go
Yeah,
to the core of it. And I
yeah,
think with all of this, the core is one person,
yeah,
me, myself, and I. And
yeah.
so I try to, get person to reflect and put them in that space, see themselves
Mm-hmm.
there, like the reflection in the mirror, and then
Yeah,
we start from there.
Mm.
yeah. That's how I operate. That's why I tell people I can't. I'm not a dating coach. I'm a relationship coach. I can help you build a relationship with yourself, so that you can get ready to start dating and go down that path. But I can't do because people so hard headed. I get frustrated. I'm like, you know what? No, you can't waste my time because you're not listening. You know, and then when people say that there's nothing in the pool, it sometimes make me feel as a married person, what did y'all think I settled? Or y'all keep saying there's nothing
Yeah,
in the
or
pool.
just what are you saying about me? Because I know I'm a
Right.
good person.
What are you saying about the people that
Yeah.
that are about to get married? I have a lot of friends that are about to get married. What are you saying about them? Because we all had to go through the dating. A lot of us didn't grow up with our high school sweetheart, or,
True.
we were not, friends for since childhood type of, relationships. So I had to get out there and date, and I like
Yes.
what you said, that it is like the energy, because if you go in negatively about it,
Yes.
then you're going to
Yeah.
attract just what you're saying that you don't want.
Yes.
So I like that you said that. Evelyn, did you have your hand up? I don't know if you were.
No, I was agreeing with Coach Pleasant when she made the point of
Yeah,
um, what people are saying and why they're seeing it. I was in agreement with her on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's your experience? What's your status? Last week you said you were single, or
For tax purpose.
For
for
tax
tax
purposes.
purposes? Explain that to us, Evelyn.
Well,
What's
when
your
I
take on
when
it?
I when I say that I'm single for tax purposes, it simply means that I haven't committed to anyone. I'm not
Mm,
in a committed relationship, but I do date. I do go out on dates, and I am mingling, as people are saying for this discussion's sake. But
right.
not being committed to anyone, not being specifically married to anyone, I am single for tax purposes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
what
are
I
you
mean by that.
finding, as a single person that's dating, are you finding it easy to date, or really like horrible, or just like a challenge in dating?
Well, it's easy to date, it's hard to date well.
Mm,
And that distinction becomes a matter of the people who are in your dating sphere, those with whom
okay.
you come in contact. And one of the things that I do tell people quite regularly is, if all you're seeing is the worst,
Mm-hmm.
look up, look elsewhere, change your dating circle, look, you get into different environments. And if they're decidedly stuck in
Mm-hmm.
dating only in the areas where they've been, then once they've seen everything that's where they are, then it's not going to change any for them. And then when they're not recognizing how their actions are impacting what their perspective is, that's what it continues. So
Mm,
when I suggest to them that they should change their dating area if they want something different, it's almost as if the consensus is, I want the kind of relationship that I want, but I don't want to do any work for it. I want it to come
mm,
to me. I want it to show up where I am, and I want it to just be super easy and everything is fine. And I've
mm,
seen that on male and female sides. I've seen men say that, it's what it is, and I'm just going to get what I can because that's just the way it is. And I've seen women who say, I don't want what it is, and it can't just be the way it is because that's not enough. So there is a lot of dissatisfaction with the dating arena. But one of the ways to change that is to expand your arena, not
mm.
necessarily always dating someone that you wouldn't have before, because for a lot of women that imposition becomes settling. But it does
Right.
mean that examine your type and see if what your type is really something that you should go after, because some types aren't healthy and they blame their actions on having a type, but that doesn't mean that the type is healthy just because they have it. And
Gotcha.
I meant to say also that my specialty, as we will, is communication, not specifically relationships, but communication. And because they are so closely linked, it's hard to
Mm-hmm.
separate the two.
Right. And that is a very important piece in dating, marriage, and all of that communication. Listen, stay connected. When we come back from this music break, we're gonna get more into this. Listen, y'all, this conversation is, y'all want to take notes, go ahead and get your journal. Go ahead and get you some paper.
This what
Get
you
your
sitting up here
pencil,
talking about the
pen.
church ladies.
What you say?
She
What you
sitting up
say?
here picking. She sitting up here picking on these church ladies that don't want to go outside because God said the man gonna come to you.
Listen,
We'll get there. We'll
we're
get
gonna
there.
get there. We're gonna get there. So stay connected to 101 TKO Radio in the mail room. We'll be right back. Are you single and are you ready to mingle? I
Go
don't
ahead and
know
get your
now.
Pringles.
We'll be right back.
And one.
And we are back live on 101 TKO Radio. Beyonce put a ring on it. Y'all listen, when that song came out, everybody put a ring on it, put a ring on it. And everybody wasn't ready for that ring. They
Uh,
wanted to
you
put
you're
the
right.
ring.
You're
They
right.
wanted the ring. But then when they got the ring, it's like, oh. Oh, okay, this comes with the ring. Yeah, it comes with a ring.
Uh-huh.
Y'all want the ring. It is a lot that comes with that ring. The good, the bad, the ugly. It
Yeah.
comes with it.
That ring costs.
The
It,
common denominator,
it does. It costs. That ring costs. It
the,
Hush.
costs
the
though.
the
But
common
it's
denominator.
good though. It's cool. But that's why, I try to tell my single friends, I don't deter anybody from wanting to pursue marriage or whatnot. But I always be realistic with people. I said, and the question I do ask as some of my clients want, and again, I make it clear in the beginning, I am not a dating coach. I'm not a marriage coach. So I can't tell you how to get a man because the stuff that you need to do, you're not ready to do X, Y, and Z. But I ask the question, why do you want to get married? What is so fascinating about being married and having a ring? Because do you not understand that it comes with this, that, or whatnot. And it's not a bad thing, but I think we are fascinated with, the wedding,
The glam, the
the
glam of it.
glam of it, the invitations, the
Yeah,
friends, the party. We're
the
we're
show.
fascinated with the good, which is really cool. It's okay. But we don't talk about the
Is that good?
other side of it, and so this is one of those topics that I wonder if people are saying when they're saying they're ready to mingle, are they really ready to mingle? So
TaShon,
yeah.
to come off of what you just said, why is that good in so many ways? Like, is it good to well, I know some people do have the funds to drop $175,000 on a wedding, but some
Mm-hmm.
people don't. And they're
Mm-hmm.
getting like $50,000, $60,000 weddings and then getting divorced maybe a year later. So you in debt
Mm-hmm.
into the marriage. Like, so or you have those marriages where okay, you do have the fun, but going through the process to get married, it was
Mm-hmm.
hell
Mm-hmm.
because you have bridezillas and stuff. And so,
Mm-hmm.
is it really fun?
It can be. It depends on what you set. You set that tone, because again, weddings are going to always be on the woman, right? So the
And
women
that's
and her
not fair.
friends, and no, I'm saying when I say that men are really not into the performance of it, right? Because women, when we get ready for that big day, we want everything perfect. We want everything to, we have this dream of it, right? So
Yeah.
if you, and this is what I always tell people, if you have that money set aside for your big day, then go for it. If you don't want you, it's whatever you want to do, right? However, I think a lot of times we're excited, and so we gather all of our girlfriends that we've been in college with and friends with, and we want to put them in a wedding and this, that, and the other, and then we don't think about, like what entails the wedding, like what is it that I really need these people to do, so like for me when I got married, I didn't have a wedding party this second time around. I didn't have a wedding party because one, I didn't want to deal with the financial piece of it. I didn't feel like going bridesmaid dress shopping and all of that. We wanted to focus on our honeymoon. So we had a 3-day celebration. Got married on Friday, had a Saturday celebration. Boom, Sunday we were out for our honeymoon. Friday, I ain't spent no money. I bought the first tray of appetizers at the club, at the lounge. The rest of it, y'all on your own. You buy your own drinks. I ain't spending no more money on reception food. I did that once. Okay. So it's like whatever you want. But also, I also had wedding events throughout the year.
Hmm.
So I created a wedding year of celebration. So, it's just what you want. However, again, before I got married, I knew the intricate details of marriage. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't like this time I went in blind. Now, the first time, even though I had some idea of marriage,
Hmm.
as I shared before, that whole sickness and health, when my ex-husband got sick, I was like, you know, the fantasy part of me is like, oh yes, I can do it. I can
Hmm.
be that wife like my mom was, and I can take care of my husband. But when he threw up, I was like, oh, what the heck? What you what who gave who told you to do that? Why are you throwing up on my floor? Like why you You just supposed to get a cold. You got a virus and everything else, and that's nasty. Who
Oh
cleaning
my
that up?
God.
So you're gonna have to sit there in your mess. I'm not cleaning it. I, first of all, you stink. What?
Oh my God.
So I'm
I am
like,
so
so
happy you
you don't.
grown.
Oh yeah, I was. I look back now, I'd be like, oh Jesus, forgive me.
Mhm.
I was real, but in my mind, because I knew that I wanted to get married because I saw the good examples around me, from
Right.
my parents, from my aunts, my grand, all of that. But I didn't really understand the intricate details. So I was single and I was ready to get married. Boom. But when it came to that stuff, I was like, no, 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 we can't. That's sickness and health. No, no. Uh-uh.
One of the
That's
one
nasty.
one of the reasons that most American weddings, rather as opposed to weddings in other countries, the focus
Mm-hmm.
is the man. One of the reasons for American weddings to centralize around the woman is it stems from the way that women and female children are socialized in general, and the different
Mm-hmm.
ways that male children are socialized. Female children are told the fairy tale is what you're really supposed to expect. You're supposed to
Yeah.
keep yourself pure and sacred and holy until the knight in white shining armor shows up and takes you away to solve all your problems, and he's just going to be the one that you live happily forever after with.
Mm-hmm.
Are told their place in fairy tales because the fairy tale is the story. For them, it's playtime. For them, it's this is what this is what they're talking about, and I'm finished with this, and now I'm going to go do this thing with the construction cars outside.
Right.
So the idea that the value of marriage, the value of relationship, the value of all of that is always more heavily imposed upon women can't help but impact why there is such discord in relationship topics now, because men
Mm-hmm.
are generally socialized to value and prioritize relationships differently. She's
Yeah.
at the level all the time. Let's get married. Let's make this forever. Let's do this thing. We're finished with the world. It's just you and I now. And he's taught the exact opposite. I'm going to be single for as long as I can. And when I am 85% decrepit with one foot in the grave, then I want to have some kids and a family.
Right.
And when this we might get off into a little bit of a tangent, and I'll pull it back if I need to, but that's one of the reasons that older men who've lived their lives, who've sown their oats, who've done whatever they wanted to do, and they get
Mm-hmm.
to a certain age, I'm not going to put a number on it so that I don't offend anybody,
Mm.
but they get to a certain age and then they say, now after I've lived this life, I want to have a kid and I want to have a family. I'm going to go date a young woman because she's going to be capable of giving me the children that I want, because women my age aren't safe to have children with because of age complications and things of that sort. And then
Mm-hmm.
young women who have been conditioned to seek after established men in relationships, they go for those older men. And now the issue becomes the woman is saying it's okay for him to date younger women like me because he wants kids now that older women can't give him. The problem with that whole scenario is this: if he had been taught to value and prioritize relationships at the same emphasis, at the same height as women are, then he would have married young.
Mm. Mm.
But because he didn't, now those younger women justify being with the older men because she is capable of giving him children, whereas maybe an older woman can't. They're not looking at why he's gotten to this particular age where now he's looking at having children when he's been sleeping around and being Mr. Whore for all of his life, up until the point where he decides, okay, now I want to live right. Now I want to settle down, and I'm going to snatch me one of these young, cradle rob to get the kids that I want. He gets the best of both worlds in that way, when all of the entire time it is imposed upon women that she has no value unless she's married, unless she's with a man, unless she has a man in her life. He's never told you're not valuable until you get married. And
Right.
that creates discord in the ways that men and women consider relationships in general.
Right. Coach
I
Smith, what do you think?
I see that as just a percentage. There is a phase and a different space journey in life, which is what I've noticed when a person young, and a lot of these young men, they are, driven. They want to have a family, and they want to have something. They want to have that independence with a family, and they have it, and then the relationship breaks because they start young, and then after a while the woman might, or both might, get, like they are missing out, and then it's split,
Mm-hmm.
right? The relationship breakup, and these men after that, they're in a phase of like they're emotionally unavailable. Most of the time they have this family until they're in their 40s, and
Mm-hmm.
then it go apart, and they see themselves not being capable of getting, that kind of with an asset or so forth again, because they are at this age. And
Mm-hmm.
so they when a woman would bounce back, most of the time these men, they just start to taking it slow, and there's a lot of women out there, and reason why I know this is because I've been on dating site for many years with these experiments, and there's a lot of men out there that is broken, because if you should tell it, those men that is going for the younger woman, no, most of them married one time or two time previously. Most of them are married before. And the women would, like, when these men are going for the younger woman now, in their 50s and 60s, these women are going for these men. And these men don't, they're not interesting until might be when they're much sicker. And so the woman, because I've been in that space, we come across these, we call them emotionally unavailable, broken man, and the works, because they are how they're now. But women hurt, and they said women can go to therapy, and we have somebody to talk to, so we bounce back easily. But the men, they don't have that kind of support. And so it's a beginning, a middle, and a end. The beginning, as a couple, we young, we date, we marry, we have kids, we break up in the middle. The men go for younger women, the women now needing these men who are broken and don't want to be involved, and they want to feel young again, or they don't think they have what it takes to give this relationship any. So we at the in the 40s have potential. We have our business, we have our career. We want these men now in their 40s and 50s, but they are broken. And so what I've seen online, and dating online, all these men have experienced before. So
Yeah.
to say that they are at this age and they want younger girls, something caused them to be there. They have
Yeah.
experienced before.
Right. Hold that thought, Coach. When we come back, we're going to talk about that. These younger women and these older men, because I know some older men who got some new children out here. They got some new children. So listen, stay connected to 101 TKO Radio in the mail room. Single and ready to mingle. Are y'all ready? Really, really ready to mingle? Let's answer this question right here live on 101 TKO Radio in the mailroom. We'll be right back. And we are back live on 101 TKO Radio and the mail room. Listen, Nelson's been bringing me up on a lot of we got a lot of new R&B songs. Y'all know I love me some good R&B. It's just time to bring that back. Maybe that'll help with the dating scene too. Because this music that they playing out here now,
You,
I ain't gonna say all of it's trash. I'm not gonna say that because it is some good popular songs out here, right? It's some good, hip hop, some good, music for the
you know,
new generation. But if
that
you
should be
listen
a
to the music, like a lot of it is not promoting healthy love and healthy
uh,
relationships, you
that
True.
is a
know.
good relation. I mean, that's a good topic actually we could have on the show because
Absolutely.
Yeah.
on a side
True.
note, I was talking to my wife about that very thing. That if you can tell, the rap scene has been saturated with what women did not like Luke and all the other people promoting about women. They barely have clothes on. They're twerking everywhere, sliding across the floor and stuff. And not saying that some of the music is not good, but like you just said, TaShon, is the promotion of it is to nail it. I do believe that a lot of male independent rappers realized that getting a contract was not a good thing, and so the record industry is picking on women and finding women that are looking to just make it big, and they're doing the same thing that they did to the men, as in telling them that they're great rappers, but then once they sign them, now you got to do what I tell you. You got to rap about what I'm telling you. You have to rap about. So
You're
that's what
right.
I see about that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Totally
let
agree.
so back to our subject, single and mingling, and again, that music does play a part. And what's your thought about that, Coach? Far as like when you're coaching clients, the what is it? Some things that you bring to their attention when people say, "I'm ready to get out here. I'm ready to date." How do you prepare your clients? Is it that do your clients really understand like, okay, there's some things that you have to do to prepare yourself for dating? What is it that you do for your clients to prepare?
There is a very good piece that we have, and it is called the relationship readiness quiz. It is,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a very good tool to start with. And the 10 10 topic of it is like, I know what I want, I know my requirements, I am happy and successful being single, I am ready and available for commitment. I am
Yeah.
satisfied with my work, my career. I'm healthy in mind, body, and spirit. My financial and legal businesses is handled. My family relationships are functional. I have effective dating skills. I have effective relationship skills. So this 10 question topics goes with some finer words to it, and it is graded on a 1 to 10 basic based on, on a scale of 1 to 10. And well, after that, now this is a good piece for might be a month of coaching,
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, it's a good piece for a month of coaching, because these topics are essential to start. And as I said, we usually focus on the beginning. So I know what I want. And some person like requirements, for example, there is requirements, needs, and wants. And it
Mm-hmm.
plays a very essential part in dating,
Mm-hmm.
because I have been on date years before, and the person asked me, "What do you want?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
It's a lot of people.
I don't know what I want, but I was out
Yeah.
there dating. I don't know what I was looking for in that person or in a
Yeah.
relationship. So yeah, so it is important to start with these
Yeah.
basic are fundamental things in mind, and
Yeah.
you can move from there. So yes, that we do the checklist, and
Yeah.
from the checklist we'll move on to the dating scene, because that's the other
Mm,
thing. A lot of
yeah.
person said, oh, I will never go online and date.
Yeah.
And a lot of person, it just depends on the
Individual.
platform. Yeah, what you feel comfortable with. you know Anybody can find their Mr. Right significant other anywhere, anytime. But if
Yeah.
you choose, like, I'm in this space, I know that I'm ready to mingle, then choose, be conscious
Mm-hmm.
where you're going to meet that person. It might not work there, but at least you have a start, or an idea, or something that you will be comfortable working with. And
Yeah.
as I said, I don't know how person said they will not date online, because majority of the person who out there that you meet that is single for even one time or so, they were
Mm-hmm.
online. So the same
Mm,
person you meet at the grocery store
yeah.
or in the gym, those
Mm-hmm.
same person is online. So why you say you would never date somebody online? It's kind of doesn't make any sense. And
Yeah.
so it has to do with, that's the second part where you're gonna choose to mingle, or
Yeah.
how, and be comfortable in whatever areas. And then the next thing is family members or friends trying to tell you it's time. Make it be
Mm,
your time. make
yeah.
it not make it not be their time.
Yeah.
Make it be
Yeah.
your time that you want to, and that I'm ready for this. Because I have done a blog on my website, and it says I'm mindful of being single.
Mm,
And a lot of person feel like when they are single, it's the worst time ever.
yeah.
But if you should look on, most persons only find a time in their life when they are out of a relationship by themselves. Being grown up in might be a extended family, or with
Yeah.
siblings, and then school, and might be college, then the workplace, right into a relationship. What time do you are were you by yourself? Most
Yeah.
person never been by themselves until the relationship, or and then they sometimes they are seeing the relationship going this way, and they start to find some other person to fulfill the space before they even become single. But if you get that time to be single, use that time to really know who you are.
Hold that thought, coach. I like that you said that, because that is a very important piece that I think a lot of people skip over. So when we come back, we're going to talk about that piece of getting to know who you are. And for those people who say, "Well, I know myself. I've been by myself for so long now. I'm really ready to mingle. Like I'm really ready to do that." That you hit on some important questions. So listen, some important facts. But listen, when we come back, download that app, 101 TKO Radio app. When we come back, we're going to dig deeper into this and so forth because I do want my friends to start mingling, And you mentioned online dating. I want to talk more about that because a lot of people are like, I'm not going to do that online dating stuff. But isn't it kind of like the same thing as we meeting folks at the grocery store and, at the lounges, the sports bars and stuff? So when we
Somewhat.
come
Yeah.
back,
Somewhat.
yeah, listen, when we come back, we're going to talk more about that with Coach Smith, Evelyn, Mr. Takeover, myself, and Nelson on the ones and twos right here live on 101 TKO Radio in the mailroom. And then I'm about to sip on this hibiscus tea. What we got this time? The hibiscus tea. Which flavor? With the lavender? Okay. And yeah, I'm about to
Y'all
sip on
trying to be
this tea.
like me, drinking y'all tea. Ugh.
Hey, listen. Because I just want to know why y'all out here still single. That's what I want to know. So listen
Mr.
live
Right.
on 101 TKO Radio. We'll be right back. And we are back live on 101 TKO Radio. That was Tone Stiff. I think I'm pronouncing his name, Tone Stiff. I was just talking to Nelson about the R&B, the music. I love good music. And so the R&B puts me into that relationship that. And I remember being single, I made me a playlist, a CD. Yes, I made a CD, I
Mhm.
still had an iPod. Was that was called an iPod of my music and whatnot? They don't even make iPods anymore, right? They just
The
yeah,
iPod changed over
yeah.
to they discontinued once the iPhone could hold
iPhone
music.
came. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I remember making a playlist because I wanted to put myself, like I was preparing myself to be soft and all of that stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
Did,
listen, before we, what you say, Laura?
did you have a breakup playlist too?
I did. I did.
Yeah. And all them songs that
Patti
made you
LaBelle
cry.
was on that song on that
Yeah.
list. If
Yeah.
only you knew
Yeah.
how much I do love you. I
Yeah.
played that song over and over and over for like weeks.
I
That
had
was
a
my
lot of
breakup song.
I had a lot of
You know.
Shy and Mary J. Blige. I'm going down. I'm
Yeah,
going down.
I made that playlist, but now my playlist is just smooth R&B. You know, I got a little, down from, I got a little post on my
Okay.
playlist.
Yeah.
Now I will, like if I need like that pep and I need to get out there and get to work, I put on my Luke. I'll put on,
I was just gonna say Luke.
I'll put on my loop.
You
Yeah.
know Luke in
I'll
your
put on,
phone somewhere.
oh yeah. And I need some help on that. I need somebody to help me with that playlist because I get in the car and something ratchet will play and then my gospel song will come right afterwards. And I'd be like, Jesus, I'm sorry. Or it'll be the opposite. My Jesus song come on, and then next
That's
it'll
a
be the
Russian.
Luke.
Yeah. Praising the
Y'all
Lord and
right
twerking
after
at the
they'll
and
sit back
praising
and
the
like
Lord and then
say
twerking right
after
after her.
praise God. So you like, and I'll be like, oh Lord, I am so sorry. I'm still, but I'll be like, doggone it, that's all just play right after Jesus say. So yeah, I gotta learn I don't know what to do with my playlist though, but music does play a big part in that dating, I feel like in relationships and so forth. So before we left, we were talking about the what were we talking about, y'all? I'm sorry. Oh, the online
Online dating.
the online dating. Now, Evelyn, as a single woman, for tax purposes, we're gonna get her a t-shirt, single for tax purposes.
That's a good sell. That's
Yeah.
definitely a good
Really is.
sell.
Single for tax
Tax
purposes.
purposes.
It's
It's
Yeah.
really, it's true. It's
Yeah,
catchy.
it really is. I like that, Evelyn. Take it. You better take it,
Take it.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Single
Thank you.
purposes. I bet you know what? That'll get a lot of folks' attention too. Like,
Mhm.
I would buy that shirt.
right. So, Evelyn, as a woman that is single and dating, you are dating. What is it like for you? Like, honestly, like I know you said that you're dating, and are you running into people that just don't know what they want? As Coach said, you asked a question like, "What is it that you want?" Are you running into those type of people? And do you do online dating? Oh, I think she froze.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Well,
Been
Yep,
dated
she
before,
froze.
more as a social experiment to secure a relationship from it. But I wanted to see what the attitudes were out there. I wanted to talk to some of the people who were online and talk to some of the people that I ran into or met in person at coffee houses, bookshops, simple places like that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I did hear Coach Pleasant say that I do agree with is that online is the same vehicle of meeting people that a physical place is. You
Mm.
still have whoever personality is going to be. The difference is how you first engage that person.
Yes.
If you first engage them physically, that's one thing. If you first
Yes.
engage them online, that's a different thing.
True.
But the
Yeah.
issue becomes the person, whether they have good intentions or bad, it's still who that person is.
True.
You can
Mm.
meet a person face to face and they be a liar. You can meet a person online who's also
Yeah.
a liar. The
Yes.
physical place or meeting online makes no difference if that person is a liar.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one thing that people have to recognize. Not everybody online is bad, not everybody in person is good, nor vice versa. I
Yeah.
met this person face to face, so they're not a scammer. Yes, they could be. Or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I met this person online and they're automatically a scammer, but they're actually not. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that the online dating situation changes too much about how humans interact person to person. But I do think that people have given online so much more capability in that interaction than it probably deserves because
Mm-hmm.
online does carry a larger propensity of anonymity. It's harder to know who a person really
True.
is if you don't
catfish.
meet them if you don't meet them face to face. So
Catfish.
in my exploring and research, yes, I have done the online scene, but I'm not online now.
Gotcha.
At the
For
same
tax
time, to
purposes.
answer your other question, for tax purposes,
Gotta show me them W-2s.
yes.
Oh, the W-2s.
For the other question you asked, am I finding that people don't know what they want? Yes.
Mm.
However, one of the things is that they don't know what they want. They project what they are told they should want.
Mm.
And when a person is interacting through the lens of what they think the other person expects of them,
True.
then you're not going to get a genuine picture of who that person really is. Perfect case on the point. If I, uh, as a woman, am expected to like high heel shoes, but I don't, I know
Mm-hmm.
that that's what people expect of me. So I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
show up in these torture contraptions that I want to get a
Right.
footwear. And that isn't a genuine presentation of any individual when they're trying to be what they know is expected of them. They don't know what they want, but they know what they're told they should want. And that's what they act in. It's usually an existential crisis for them, or a crisis, a conflict, when they're confronted with that person who says, this is what you showed me you were, and now I'm trying to live in that, and you're still not happy. Why have
Mm-hmm.
I done everything that you wanted and you're still not satisfied?
True.
When the person has to answer that question for themselves, then it becomes an opportunity to explore why they presented to that person the way that they did, in order for that person to say back to them, I've done everything you want and you're still not happy. What's the reason for that?
Mm-hmm.
And one other thing I've also found, just in dating in general, it's not so much the worst for a person to not know what they want.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost worse when a person knows exactly what they want, and what they want is nefarious. There was a gentleman that I met in my office space. We didn't work together, but because I was going back and forth to work, I would see him regularly. And one day we actually almost physically bumped into each other in the parking garage of the building. So he said, yeah, I see you all the time on this particular floor where you work. And I said, yes, I've seen you up there as well. And we began a conversation about, he wanted to take me out to lunch. Sure, I had no problem with that. We connected, we, exchanged phone numbers, made the date and everything. First date was actually fantastic. It was
Mm-hmm.
a conversation. It was a little bit of what are your simple favorites and some of what are you looking for. So it was a good mix of conversation. It
Okay.
wasn't just the easy basic stuff that anybody can sleep through, but we didn't expose each other's whole soul at the lunch table. It was simple, but it was balanced.
Right.
So he said, you're making this easy. I like you. And I said, great. What do you mean by that? And he began to explain all of the things that he found enjoyable about interacting with me, the conversation levels, the type, the sub, all of it. It was really, really good. And he expressed an interest in me as a person, and actually continuing to follow up with the relationship as we had built it so far. He asked me
Mm-hmm.
out a second time. I went, no trouble. On the second date, not only do I find out that he is in a relationship with
Oh,
someone else,
this story.
but
Mm-hmm.
he has two children,
Mm.
and his child's mother was saved in his phone as wifey.
Wow.
And what happened was funny. When he told me that he had children, I said, okay, no problem. Let's see some cute pictures of the babies, and that's just going to be how we, get past this moment. He
Right.
shows me a picture while he's holding his phone up to me. A notification comes on at the top, and the notification says wifey from wifey.
No. No.
The message was answer your phone. I tried so hard not to fall out laughing, and just it was all I could do to say to him as calmly as I could, you have a message. And I turned the phone back to him and showed it to him. Notification at the top. And he, of course, wiped out the notification, and then we continued talking. But I I was dying inside with laughter. So by the time this is happening, I decided that, okay, we're done. I'm not going out with him anymore at
Yeah.
all. I
Yeah.
don't deal with involved men. You should
Right.
know me that you had a girlfriend, live-in, baby mama, wifey, whatever. You should have told me that. Instead of saying to me, you make this easy. I want to go out with you again. I'm interested in you. I like everything that I've learned about you so far. And all of those things that would lend themselves to a personal relationship that I was open to until I
Right.
found out that he was not available. He
He
was
made
Right.
it
not
easy
Hold that
because he
thought,
was
willing
Evelyn.
real.
to.
Hold that thought. When we come back, see, that's why I don't let people hold my phone. You never know. And see, and he was so proud to hold that phone up to you to show you
Mhm,
that picture and forgot to turn off his notifications.
mhm.
You know, that was God. That was nothing but
Yes.
God. Like, we ain't got to waste your
Absolutely.
time. So
That's
listen,
right.
hold,
Yes.
hold that thought. When we come back, that's messed up. But you know, hey,
Yes.
at least you only got 2 days. That's it. 101 TKO radio in the mail room. And he's just showing it proudly too. I can imagine holding that phone up to you. Listen. Stupid. He's stupid. But hey, okay, that's that go down in history. I lose my number. On that note, we'll be right back live on 101 TKO Radio in the mail room.
Three, two, and one.
And we are back live on 101 TKO Radio in the mail room. Listen, I have my friends, Miss Evelyn, the communicator. Listen, if y'all don't know, get her book. She will teach you how to communicate. I have Coach Pleasant, a dating coach. If y'all are not writing down your notes, you better get these complimentary nuggets because you will have to book her. You better get this. That's the purpose of the show. Get these complimentary nuggets. I'm trying to tell you. We have Mr. Takeover. We got myself and we got Nelson on the ones and twos. And we are talking about single, being ready to mingle. And we did talk about it briefly about, well, I want to go back and I apologize, Evan, for laughing at the situation. There's a part two. And we're gonna
Yes.
have
I,
to we got to do another show with the part two because I want to know what this brother, if he tried to contact you again, because that was,
I laughing.
let me tell
I
you, stop
died
showing your
laughing.
phone. Stop showing your phone. If you ain't ready, stop showing your phone or change your notifications, because that was a
You
clear
know,
sign.
well, I like to add with that, and I could be wrong when I say that his meaning as of why you made it easy is because you didn't drill him about him. You know, who is he? Do you got kids? I'm not saying that because you may have asked those questions a little bit, but uh, a lot of men that I find that say that she made it easy for me is she didn't ask those hard, committed questions.
So you
So,
I
saying Evelyn didn't?
Yes, I hear what you're saying. And the context of the conversation that I wasn't able to allay in the way that I presented the story wasn't about that. It was about when I asked him what did he mean by you're making this easy. He was talking about the fluidity of the conversation, the
Mm.
similarities that we had in common. He was
mm,
saying that I was making it easy to feel comfortable moving forward in a
ah,
Mm-hmm.
relationship.
And I
okay,
think that's
Mm-hmm.
how a first date should go to.
That's
Yeah.
okay,
exactly,
all
exactly,
right,
coach.
yeah,
And
okay,
that
It
all
was
right,
shouldn't be an interview.
thank you.
right.
Right.
And that's
Right.
another thing that I'd like to talk to about. But yes, that was his context. And
Okay,
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons that we scheduled the second date as soon as we did, because that
Yes.
was the
Right.
progression that we were moving through. But when I found out that he is, has all these children in, living with the woman, having, her wifey at saved in his phone, I told him, I like to be civil. I'm not one of the persons who's going to bust your car window, slash your tires.
Right.
I'm not going to jail
mm,
for your foolishness. Okay. So when I decided that that was the end of my interaction with him, I didn't want to pick up a drink and throw it on his face and make a scene in the restaurant and do all of those types of crazy things. I
Yeah.
simply decided at the end of that date, I'm going to tell him point blank, this is the last one. I'm not going to talk with you anymore because
Yes.
you
You.
led me to believe that we were moving in a particular direction that you are not capable to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good luck to you. Best of wishes. Everything. This is done. And
Right.
well,
Right.
okay,
um,
And you made that choice and that's the thing about it. I think a lot of us we try to change the situation, and
Yes.
it's like it was already clear and presented. He got a whole family at home, and
right.
obviously
Yes.
they're in some type of relationship, and I choose not to be involved in it. So I'm not
right,
trying to change your mind. I'm not trying to make you like me. And I think that's the problem of a lot of women that do that. The signs are there, and
Yes.
we tend to ignore those signs. It's like, well, baby girl, he was talking to his girlfriend in front of you, what more of the
Exactly.
sign, so
Yeah.
and that's the part that we don't. Nelson, did you have anything to chime in as a single man?
Well, I do want to chime in what you just said as far as seeing the signs. I think for both men and women, they see the signs, but I think a lot of people revert back to their selfishness. They
Mm,
want what they want
What
in a
they
yeah,
woman,
want.
so
Yes.
so they kind
Yes.
of ignore those signs, even
yeah,
though the signs should tell them like avoid this person, but
right.
because either they're desperate or
Mm,
they just want to feel something that they
yeah,
ignore those signs, and that's
yeah,
back to that being that the selfishness, which
yeah,
everybody have the selfishness in them.
right,
So
right,
I think that's
right.
where
That's a good point. We're
Mhm.
being selfish, so we don't want to hear y'all. Like when you, or just not men, but we don't want to hear each other when it's like the signs are clear. Like, I'm involved with somebody, but so wow. I hope
And
he's all right with his baby mama now.
oh well, that's the part two that we'll get into. But where all
Yes,
of this where all of this kind of stemmed was from the idea that when you meet people either online or in person, the fact that they don't know what they want is kind of bad, but it's also worse when they know exactly what they
What
want,
they
and what they
want.
want is bad.
mm,
He was interested in
Mhm.
trying to convince me that it was okay for us to continue in our interaction when he
mm,
was well aware that I knew his whole family situation. And no, that was not going to happen. And
right.
that's what he wanted, though. That's what he was after. And
Mm,
a lot of women, like you said, would take that because
yeah.
they want something that they want out of it, and they're not recognizing the detriment that that situation puts them in. Because here's what is likely: if I had decided to go forward with his invitation, suppose 3, 4, 6 months while my feelings are completely invested, he decides to
Mm-hmm,
tell me, well, me and wifey are really going to try to work things out, so I have to break
mm-hmm,
this off. What am I supposed to do with those emotions at this point? What am
right.
I going to do with the burden that the emotional weight remaining would leave for me while he's off happy with wifey? All of
Right.
that confusion, from my experience in my side, is completely avoidable. And
Hey,
if you're interested in dating, you have to be aware of the people who are willing to get from you what they want without giving you what you need.
so let me ask you a question. And it's not somewhat related to your this scenario, but when you state that people have to be careful when somebody say what they want, and one of the things what I've heard as far as dating or whatever, I hear people say um, like I'm dating with a purpose.
Mm-hmm,
So that's to me that's like they're dating because this is they know exactly what they want.
yeah.
So, in your experience, by when somebody's saying that, is that a bad thing?
No, it's not bad if someone does know what they want, but this goes back to the comment that I made a little earlier on the issue that some people project what they think they should want. And it's not really what they genuinely seek after. It's not really what they genuinely need. It's only what they've been told they should do. For instance, there are some women who will date with a purpose, saying that she wants to confirm getting marriage out of that relationship. But the only real reason she wants to be married is that mom won't leave her alone about grandbabies. So
Mm-hmm,
marriage really isn't what she's after for her own needs. She's not after it for something that she wants as a part of her life. She's looking for that thing that will make other people leave her alone about what they think she should be doing. So no, dating with a purpose is not wrong. It's not wrong to know what you want. But when what you're acting on isn't really what you are seeking, it becomes a problem. And it's an existential crisis for that person and the condition of their relationship when they're faced with, I didn't really want this. I only thought I did. But now that I have it, that's why I'm not satisfied because I wasn't acting in my own best interest in terms of a relationship. I just wanted mom to leave me alone about grandkids. I wanted my friends to leave me alone about being single. I wanted my job to leave me alone about overtime that they think I can do because I'm not going home to kids and
mm-hmm,
family. I want all of those voices to stop. And the easiest way
mm-hmm.
to do that is to get a relationship. So that's what I know I want. That has nothing to do with the person she really is.
You want to know
Yeah.
what you just said speaks volumes, and I can actually go to that on myself, and it kind of opens the door to going back to when I was in the actual studio that day here recently on TaShon about how that's why I found myself in relationships and in situations because of the weight that I allowed my family. And I have to say I allowed my family because at some point we still have to take responsibility of saying just because my mama want me to have kids or get her
Mm-hmm,
grandkids, I
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't force myself in a marriage that I know I'm not going to be great in. But that's how I broke my picker, by trying to get away and from my family, and ended up with women that were not great for me, and knowing
Mm-hmm.
that they were not great for me, but staying
Mhm.
in that, and then causing traumatizing situations in my life that it took years for me to get over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And hold that thought. We're gonna take a quick music break. When we come back, we're gonna continue this conversation on single and ready to mingle, and then we're gonna get into this DJ Johnny Prince mitts for the noonday mitts,
You
and
talking
we're
like
gonna
me,
keep
man.
this gonna keep this conversation going. Make sure you download that app, 101 TKO Radio app, and stay connected. We'll be right back. Are you single? Are you really, really ready to
Ready to
mingle?
make.
Are you still out here with like Evelyn's date? Still got a whole family and others. And are you really ready? Live right here on 101 TKO Radio. We'll be right back. And we are back live on 101 TKO Radio in the mail room. Listen, we are, if you have not downloaded this app, you need to do so ASAP, ASAP, because we are having great discussion. And of course, you can hear all of the music on the app and so forth. So we're talking about dating, single, and mingling, and just a whole lot of stuff that comes with it. And I want to know, are we making dating complicated? But we're going to, somebody write that down because we got to go into this music noonday myths. Are we really making, coach, are we really making dating complicated? That's the question I really want to know because as a married woman, I feel kind of slighted sometimes when people say, "Well, I can't find nobody." And I've even had the question, people have actually asked me, "Well, how you get somebody?" And I'll be like, "Well, am I supposed to be taking that as a offense, or are you really asking like what, how did you date or whatnot?" But I want someone to write that question down because we're going to get into this noonday mix. But before we do, TMR business shout outs and our business shout outs. We have Women Are Dope by I Am Chelsea Speaks. For more information, connect on IG at Women Are Dope. She is also a proud sponsor and vendor for the TMR Listening Party happening September 23rd. What's Good podcast with Mo Diva. Follow her on IG, what's dot good 1111. She is also a vendor for the TMR listening party. The Plush Labs Speak Retreat is happening. Relax and Network. It is taking place October 5th through the 8th, 2023. For more information, contact her at info@theplushlab.com or you may call her at 678-383-7572. We also have Eye Care Solutions. Optimize your workflow and simple tasks with virtual assistant services. Hire Mel Atwell at 254-213-9810. Lady Luxury Designs LLC. Excuse me, I'm sorry, guys. Handmade jewelry and more. Connect with them on IG at the Lady Luxury or the ladyluxury.com. And also use coupon code TMR7671 to receive 15% off of your purchase. Also, follow the Sofa Pillow Talk podcast. Connect with Mr. and Mrs. Take Over the World. Also, follow them on their YouTube at the Sofa Pillow Talk. I'm sorry. And also, I Can Beat MS, a worldwide organization dedicated to patients with multiple I'm sorry, sclerosis, and connect with them on all social media platforms at I Can Beat MS. And if you're ready to be a TMR sponsor or shout out your business, connect with us at Trinette at I am Trinette L Collier.com or DM us at the mailroom 7671. Again, thank you all so much for sponsoring. And again, we are being this episode is being sponsored by Swag Her Magazine, Privy Stone Crest, DLC Coaching, and Looks by Miracle. So, did y'all write down that question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Write down that question because when we come back after this noonday myths, I want to know. I want to know, like, are we making dating complicated? Are we really? Evelyn, you did post something for Nelson. Can you quickly tell him what you were saying? Say.
Yes. And follow up to his question about is it wrong to date with a purpose? My answer to that is no. Dating with a purpose is okay as long as that person's purpose is not imposed upon the one that they're dating. Women should be able to say, I know what I want, but I'm not willing to make what I want what you want. She's getting to know him, she's engaging with him, she's talking with him, figuring out if they want the same things, not imposing her wants upon him. And that's where, if she does that, missing the signs, ignoring the red flags, that's what we get into the selfishness aspect that Nelson was talking about earlier, when what they want is so important and they're missing everything else because their single focus is just what they want.
Hmm.
Good point. Good point.
That is a good point. I
That's
like
true.
that.
You A lot of marriages right
Sure.
quick. They people partners get bought into what the other person believes and goals are, and then they
Close.
lose themselves.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Wow, good point. Good point. Also, we need to give a shout out to Dope Coffee, for providing this hibiscus tea with lavender. It's really cool. They are located out here, Privy Stonecrest Mall, and can we announce about the big event?
It's a pro. I mean, we can
Oh,
open
it's
them, but it's a private event.
yeah, it's a private event. So y'all get ready for some big things with Privy Stonecrest. Y'all don't want to miss it. Y'all really don't. Download that app right now. And listen, we're gonna get ready for this noonday mix. And when we come back, we're gonna answer that question. Is what did I ask?
Are we
Are we
making
making dating
complicated?
complicated?
Are we making dating complicated? Listen, I have so many questions because I really do. My friends will be like, I want to get married too, and then especially like this being my second time. So people are like really like tripping, like, "Well, how why you get married?" Or I even had the comment, somebody was like, "You'll get married before I get married," you know. And I'm like,
Wow.
well, I it's not like it's a competition or anything like that.
Some folks make it a competition.
That's
Yeah, so I
right.
just really want to know, is dating really complicated? Like, is it really complicated? So make sure y'all write that question out because when we come back after this noonday mix by our very own Johnny Prince, we're going to answer that. So stay locked and loaded, you guys, on 101 TKO Radio, live right here on the mailroom. DJ Johnny Prince, noonday mix. We'll be right back. And I need to see all of y'all dance because the video camera coming on. Get ready. Here we go, y'all. Live right here on 101 TKO Radio.
Everyone.
And we are back live on 101 TKO Radio in the mail room. That was our very own DJ Johnny Prince and the Noonday Mix. Make sure that y'all go follow him on IG at Johnny Prince Throwback, the Throwback Guy, and so forth. So listen, we are having this dynamic conversation with Coach Pleasant, dating coach. We got Lauren keeps calling her Dr. Ellen. She listen, y'all better get her book because she is the communicator. We're gonna call you the communicator. Um,
Yes, thank you.
with tax purposes, the
Yes.
communicator. And we have Mr. and Mrs. Takeover, Lorraine. We got Nelson on the ones and twos and so forth. We are talking about single and mingling. And the question is, are you really ready to mingle? Like, I think this is one of those topics that you have to either, you're going to choose to listen or you're just going to continue to do what you want to do. And as me and Nelson, we were talking, um, behind the scenes, we were like, as a woman, I can admit that when I was dating or trying to date, sometimes we go in with the expectations of trying to change that person to fit what we want them to be, So we have these expectations and we're like, oh, well, he's going to do better. But the signs are there, just like what Evelyn shared earlier with the guy that she was dating. The signs were there. So there was no need for her to try to go back and be like, well, maybe we can hang out. It's like, no, you got a big wifey and kids. She telling you to call home. So where does
Right.
that leave me? Like there's no room. So I think it's just a matter of we just got to start listening. And, especially to the guy from women, we got to listen to the guys. Like they're giving us the signs. So I shared with Nelson, and y'all know I'm transparent. When I met my husband, he was a smoker, right? And so when we go out and he was smoking, and I'd be like, when did you start smoking? And he was like, I was smoking when I met you, like so there was no shocker because he came to me, but in my mind, I was like, oh, I didn't really pay attention to that, Not that it was a bad thing, but in my mind, I'm like, when did you become? He was like, it was always there. You thought you could change me or whatever, and that was always one of my downfalls as when I started dating before. I would see the guy and I would see signs, not saying that chef signs were bad, what I'm saying in previous years. I would see these signs and then I would try to change them. And it's like, no, the guys, they presented who they were right there on the first date.
True.
I chose to proceed within second, third, fourth, fifth date. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's like that for women with y'all, Nelson. Is it the same or is it different?
Well, no, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know, that's a pretty good question.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But I
Hey,
got a
You
question.
can.
I got a question for, I guess, everyone.
hmm
And so this can be, you know, answered by, so either the single or married. So, what people saying, is there a difference between single and ready to mingle or single and ready to date?
mm,
Is there a difference? Because somebody could say, "Oh, I'm just mingling around." It could be just this woman, that woman, not really actually dating. I mean, that's just my opinion.
yeah, yeah.
But I mean, do y'all believe there's a difference,
Good question,
I
Coach.
think that I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Who?
or whatever the definition of dating is?
Uh-oh.
So,
Who had our own side effect? The sound effect.
it,
Answer
it,
that question, right?
it, it would bounce off the topic that you said we should get back to. Are we making dating complicated?
hmm
Because I was making a note of that. The dating and, as he said, mingle, but how does dating look for a person? Then it boils back down to mingle, because dating doesn't have to mean marriage, and that's what
hmm
a lot of person don't know. It's what you want from that dating. It doesn't have to be married. And Nelson or Mr. Takeover, I come across men who see dating, even to future relationship, different from how a female see it. And because the age have to do a lot with it. The
Mm,
younger person dating to mingle, or when a person just come out of a relationship, dating to mingle, then call it that way, because they might say they don't ready to for seriousness again. But
mm,
most of the time, women see dating as the stepping stone to get married, and
mm,
so they go for it with this. And the person, the man that are men that she's coming across, might not in that space. So yes, with the mingle and the dating, how does a person see it? And it has to do with um really, as what he said, how does a person mingle or dating? But I classify it as, if it's because even on the dating side, they have a space that they said not serious. So what would you
mm,
call that? You'd call that mingle, I think. And then,
mm-hmm.
you would not click on a woman who is seriously looking for somebody, that potential person, that Mr. Right. They would not accept that person ping, because when they read the profile, it says, just, being there to meet people. So she would not accept it, because that's not her goal. That's not her purpose. She's in for something serious. So
Mm.
that part of it. And are we making dating complicated?
Yeah,
Yes.
are we?
Yes, it goes back to the why is it complicated? Why
Mm,
dating the younger no, when we are younger and dating,
yeah,
yeah, put it that way. When we are younger and dating, we are dating for the fun of it, to make
yeah.
friends, to meet people, to have experience. So why does the 20 and the teenager see dating different from 30s and 40s? Yes,
Mm,
because we are the one who make it complicated. It's the mindset. And the reason why this mindset comes about is because of experience. And
okay.
when we are dating somebody, we are not dating just as what some person, I don't think people do it that anymore. They're 5'9" and this and that. We are
Yeah.
dating a person mindset. We're not just dating a person physical. We're dating a person mindset. And that's the reason why attraction at first sight, and then when you get to know the person, you change. And that's why they say
Mm,
take time to know the person, because it's not the it's the person that you haven't seen, the good part that you go out with and have this fun time with, is what that person already have in their mind, and then it start to come forth, because the experience that I have is different from your experience. And it
mhm,
is the experience that we all go through that's making dating complicated. And the fact is, yes, because when you're a young teenager in the 20s, dating is not complicated.
right. It's not.
And it's not. And you're in it for the fun. And if
Yeah.
we should have that same mindset, clear our mind, it wouldn't be that way. So, what is the problem? It has to do with our experience, our own experience. And
Mm,
one of the things is that I have a blog on dating to detached to dating, detached to dating is to release, forgive, and heal.
mm-hmm.
And if you release, you forgive, and you're heal, and you give your permission, you give yourself permission. Here, you give yourself permission to know that I'm not gonna make it complicated with all the other things that that follows. That I'm going to I know what I want, the requirements, needs, and wants, and the release, forgive, and heal is about me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if a person realize that you get better benefit when you are at that stage, when you let it go and you
Mm-hmm.
forgive, because you forgive yourself first. And that's the next thing. Some person don't forgive themselves, they forgive the other person who done them wrong, and
Yeah.
they don't realize that one of the main point is to forgive yourself and give yourself permission. So
Yeah.
we're
I
making
like
it
that
more
you
complicated.
Yeah, I like that you said that. I was just telling Nelson when I was dating, well, after my divorce, I went on a hiatus. I did not date for 8 years, and that meant no interaction. I interacted, but I didn't date, not even going to the movies or whatnot, because I was determined I was on this journey for myself. So I couldn't afford, even if we were going out to get some popcorn or whatever, I didn't have the room to bring in another person in my space because I was in a healing space, and that included celibacy. So that meant I was not bringing anybody in nowhere close to me, even though I wanted to date. I was looking at all of my friends going out, having fun. However, I was in that stage where I had to get to know, reconnect with myself and really know what I wanted. So I didn't make for me, I didn't make dating complicated, because when it was time for me to enter the dating world, I there were three, I guess, prospects or whatever, we dated, and I was like, automatically I knew I did not want them. Like, it was no ands, if
Mhm,
buts about it, because
mhm.
after 8 years now, I knew what I wanted,
Yeah, you have
like,
clarity.
yeah. Yeah, right. I had clarity. And so when my husband came along, it was like, boom, okay, this is who I can deal with, or who I want or whatnot, because I was clear.
You know,
And
we talk about knowing what we want, and I can go to what Coach was just saying about not dating for appearance and whatnot. You still do have people that are some people that are doing that, and I can sit and say from my experience, my wife was that person that she had that I want that 6'2", 6'3" chocolate brother, and then here come this bright skinned, short,
Oh,
stubby of a man comes in and was like, "Where you come from? Cause this is not what I want." But I had to be persistent. Tashawn, why you
You,
laughing,
you,
Tashawn? Why you laughing?
because you short,
Yeah, okay. I'm kind of tall. I'm taller
you
than
light
her.
skin.
I'm
oh,
taller than her. But
So you light
our
skin.
our
okay.
our marriage is kind of like definitely on her end is a prime example of sometimes what we desire and what we want is not what we need. And it goes both ways. It was a couple of things that I was looking for what I thought I wanted,
Mhm,
that wasn't in her, but I came to realize that even if I had gotten it, it wouldn't have been good. It wouldn't have been great like this relationship is. And if we open ourselves up to that, it will be a great thing. And to add right quick before I know Evelyn wants to say something. Me and wifey, we were coaching someone here recently, a few months ago, where she was trying to figure out why she kept finding herself with people, with men that talked down to her, that didn't see her worth. And when I'm talking to someone, I definitely have to explain that I need to get to know you, and you have to be honest with yourself. And having identified past traumas, triggers that may have Im- impact you with your dating experience. A lot of us don't do that. And when we had her break down everything, she started realizing that a lot of the stuff that she was allowing herself to take in the dating, she saw it throughout her childhood with her parents and her siblings and her kin folks and their experience with relationships. And sometimes we don't associate that living experience with the reason why we're not able to date correctly.
Right.
and that's
Let's go ahead
where
and
the
talk when we come.
detached today too.
Right. We got to take a quick music break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Single and ready to mingle. Are you really ready to mingle? Make sure you download that app, that 101 TKO Radio app, so you can hear all of the good music and meet the personalities of 101 TKO Radio. We'll be right back.
And one.
And we are back live on 101 TKO Radio in the mail room. I was just telling Nelson that song. Remember when that song came out? That was that you said that forgot it was the New Jack City era, and we couldn't listen to them type of songs. You know, you want I want to set you up. My mom was like, "You want to do what? Who are you talking about?" I'm like, "No, that's the song." Well, you're not listening to that song and now. Look, 30 some years later, we grown. We can listen to them.
Yes.
Exactly.
Listen, thank you all for tuning in, chiming in. We are live talking about single and mingling, ready to mingle. And we have our dating coach. Coach Pleasant, and we have our communicator, Coach Evelyn Whitney, and LaRon had to step away. So, but we were talking, and we have our Nelson on our ones and twos, and we're talking about dating. And the question that we did answer, um, are we making it complicated?
Complicated.
And Coach, you both of you all brought up some good points. Like I really do think that we're making it as complicated, but I can't say that now to people because the first thing I get is, well, TaShon,
You're
you're
married.
married. Yeah. And you
But
don't understand.
you date before you get
Right.
married.
And that's what I would
So
try to tell people. I'm like, I've only been married 6 years. So I had to,
date.
I was, it was in a decade in the era that I was dating,
Mhm.
um, and then, some people are like, well, it's different. And I'm like, what is different? And that's what I want to know. What is different from
What
2014 when we started dating or to now? What is different about dating? Because it was
well
online
Mindset.
dating.
Mindset.
Yeah.
for one of the thank you for bearing with me through technical difficulties.
No problem.
One of the questions that Nelson asked, is it mingled, is it single and ready to mingle, or single and ready to date? For
Mm,
most women, single and ready to mingle means looking for somebody to date. For
mm,
many men, the designation between single and between mingling and dating has to do with his backing off of her expectation. When
mm-hmm,
she's ready to mingle, her objective is to hopefully secure a relationship out of that. But if he wants to engage her just as thoroughly as she wants to engage him, but with different motives, then he can easily say, well, mingling for me is just mingling. I'm not looking for
mm,
anything serious. So
right.
normally that application is where I've seen the difference. It's the same word, but people approach it differently.
Mm,
And then the question, do are we making things complicated? Yes, I was able to hear a little bit of the things that were said about us making things complicated. And one
mm-hmm.
of the things that I hear a lot is there are no good people out there. Well,
Yeah.
do you
Sad.
mean that there are really no good people, or do you disqualify them as good because they don't want to do what you want? And
Mm,
that takes a different layer of discussion, because
yeah.
let's suppose that a woman says, I want a guy who is, 7 figures, and he gives me all his money, he doesn't ask any questions about how I spend it. And the guy that she meets that's making 8.5 figures is like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna just
Mm,
give you all my money and let you do whatever
right.
you want with it. Then she turns around and says, oh, there are no good people out there. Yes, there are. You're just looking for the wrong things. And that is a question that they have to ask themselves. Are you really not meeting good people, or are you just selfish and not recognizing the good in the people that you meet? For men, it's
Wow.
the same thing. For men, it's the same thing. When they
Mm,
say, ain't no good women out here. Oh, you want a woman who will accept your 2 and 3 side chicks, cook you meals, and balance your checkbook.
right.
But when she doesn't want to do that, you say she's no good. No, that isn't fair to the women who would be dedicated, who would be loyal, who would give you her fidelity. But you don't
Mm-hmm.
want that. You want her to accept you as you are with all of your side chicks and just walk with it. And that's what this will bother me about the whole ride or die scenario. There are
Yeah.
people who used to say, this is my ride or die person. That meant that we're going through whatever struggle we're going through together, and I need that person there, and that's what we're locked this down as. But now that's become, she's ride or die because she stayed after I cheated. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, no,
Right.
no, no, no. Life
Right.
brings enough complications. People get sick, people die, people lose jobs. Stick with me
Right.
through that and be my ride or die. That does not
Right.
include things that you bring upon us with your foolishness. Those are
Exactly.
totally different levels. And the
Right.
last thing, the last thing I wanted to also say about that is, when people say that they want these 9 and 10 level relationships, your
Mm-hmm.
relationship will only ever be as healthy as you are.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So if
That's
you want this relationship that's like a 9 or a 10, but you won't deal with the dysfunctions that keep you stuck at 4 or 5, what you're looking for is twice as good as what you're even capable of.
Yeah.
So wanting a relationship doesn't really make you ready for it.
I like that. It does make a difference. Nelson, as a man, do you all ever say there are no good women out there, or do you think that? Because I know Coach earlier was
I've
saying it's
heard
like the mindset that we have to change. Has that been your experience, or is your mindset totally different from that?
Mine is totally different. But I don't think I, really heard a man say that there's no good women out there. I
Okay.
think they may compare to what they see, or they may
Mm-hmm.
say like there may not be no good women in Atlanta per se
Okay.
because of Atlanta got this stigma of everybody want to be,
Yeah.
want to be flashy,
Yeah.
want to show that they have something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think when they go into that no good women, or I think it's just more of trying to weed out, who that materialistic, if they want
Yeah.
that materialistic and stuff like that. So it's I think we think different,
Yeah.
than of course than what what the women say.
Right, right. Let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think there is a I call it regional dating. Do you think that living in different cities can contribute to not having this healthy dating pool? Because I know here in
absolutely,
Atlanta it can be complicated, because
absolutely.
it is everybody wants to be a superstar. I remember having dating a guy, and I think I shared it with you all before. He wanted me to be in the gym because he was a gym, so he was looking for that type of woman. And I was like, I could tell you right now, I walk up the street. I am not. I was a member of Snap Fitness, but I'm not in the gym 24 hours like you are. So, and
Hmm.
he made it very clear that, and he kept asking while we were on. We would go out. He was like, "So you don't go to the gym?" I said, "What is it?" I said, "I go to the gym, but I ain't trying to get all buff." And he proceeded to, and so I heard the message like, "Oh, he wants one of those Instagram type of gym girls or whatever." I got the cute outfits, but I'm not doing all that sweating from the gym. So if that's what you're looking for, I'm not the one. So do
Yeah,
y'all think there's a the regional, like the different cities? Because I don't know, maybe it's where you live. Does that have
I
anything to do with it?
I think that where you live and what you're looking for absolutely play a part in the kind of relationship that you might see, or the
Mm,
potential for relationship that you might see. But deeper than that, we're
mm,
dealing with that guy that you gave the example of. He wanted somebody who was in the gym all the time, just the way that he was. Wherever he lives, if that's what he wants, that's what he's going to be looking for. So those deeper things contribute to what people will get out of their regional dating situations. And I
mm-hmm,
remember on this example, there was one guy with whom I was speaking years and years and years and years ago. And in those initial questions, the question of children came up. I don't have any children.
mm-hmm.
And he asked me, he was talking about, well, how many children do you have or something like that? And I said, none. And he said, oh, okay, well, I'm looking to be a father in the next 2 years. And I said to him, I haven't decided if or how many children I want, but even if
Right,
I ever do, it certainly won't be that soon. Do
right.
we even need to continue this conversation?
Mm,
And he said, no.
mm,
And I said, thank you for being honest. We
right.
had several other conversations after that, but those conversations were, how you doing? Good to see you. How's the weather? Etc. Blah blah
Yeah,
blah. There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with wanting what you want. The
Right,
problem
right.
becomes imposing it on that other person.
Yeah, yeah. When we're trying to force what we want on that, and I've been guilty of that, and I know plenty of women who are guilty of that, and that's what made me change because I started thinking like that's not what he wants. He doesn't want to settle down like that, or he doesn't want to live in one spot. But my notebook was feel like okay, we're gonna live here, here. We're gonna do this, this, that, and that wasn't his plan. But again, like you said, we force that onto the other person.
Mhm.
And when they don't want to do it, then that's when we do proceed with that. Well, he wasn't no good, this, that, and other. It's like, no,
Exactly. And
she just didn't want that life, you know?
exactly. And
So,
there's a big problem with that when we deal with whether or not we're making dating complicated. And the other side of knowing what you want is, again, the people who know exactly what they want, but they know that if you know, then you're not going to capitulate. Like,
Right,
for instance, with me and this guy, I knew that I did not want children, but I didn't just want to hit him with a baseball bat with it and be like, "Look, you get away from me, you know this, blah 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 blah." I didn't want to do that.
yeah,
So for me, I could have led him on and made him think, okay, well, yeah, maybe children, maybe blah blah whatever whatever, because I know that what I want from him is just his attention when I never intend to give him what he wants from me.
right,
Normally, as unfortunately as it is, normally we see that in reverse. There are men who will not tell women, I don't want a family, I don't want kids, but because
right,
they know that's what she wants, then they'll say, oh, I'm confused, I have to think about it, I have to get back to you, I have to get back to you. And all this time she's hoping that she's going to get the answer from him that she ultimately wants, when he's known from the beginning that it's never going to be that, but he's kept her emotions on a fish reel to pull it back in anytime he got ready. So
right. Oh,
honesty is something we do have to consider in relationships.
right. Nelson, go ahead, and then we're gonna take our break. Hold on. I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry, Nelson.
And I agree with what you said,
Yeah.
because I was guilty of that in the past.
Mm,
I know my youngest daughter mom at one time, she, wanted to be married,
okay.
and I didn't, because I
Mm,
knew I wasn't ready,
okay. Yeah.
but I prolonged it,
Okay.
instead of just being honest, because
Um.
a good friend of mine who's married, he
Mhm.
told me, and said, if you ever have any doubts,
Mhm.
don't do it, right?
Okay.
And I had that doubt because there was some things that
Yeah.
I didn't like or whatnot. So I
Mhm.
understand what Evelyn was just saying, to the point where instead of just being straight up and honest, which that was one of my main things,
Right.
communicating. So I had
Right.
an issue with communicating instead of just telling her. I prolonged it, and and
Uh.
basically let her on. I mean, what I'm saying, and
Mm,
stuff like that.
mm,
So,
mm, Nelson.
yeah.
Shame on you. Shame on you. See, that's why there ain't no good black men out here. Just lying to us. Kept that girl going, didn't you? She had that wedding dress and everything, didn't she? Uh-huh. Look at you. See, Nelson. Do you know what?
Like I said, I don't took every part of me.
Uh-huh. See, that's that part. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but he's a good black man because if she had married him, you wouldn't have him. So that's the thing. What's not good for me, good for somebody else.
There
So
you
if it
go.
don't work out for me, work out for somebody
I
else.
honestly
Right.
believe that we would have, we probably wouldn't have lasted probably together.
Yeah.
I,
Because you didn't, right.
and we
Because you
both,
wouldn't,
I mean, we're cool now. We both agreed to that.
right.
That would have, that probably
Yeah.
would have
Yeah.
happened.
And that's probably the issue with a lot of the guys who have children with their baby mothers and they didn't get married or whatnot because they were not honest or scared to, So I like that you brought that up. Listen, great points. We're gonna take a quick music break. When we come back, we're gonna wrap this up and we're gonna have to do a part two on this, y'all. We're gonna have to do a part two because it's so much out there. I like what Nelson said, because that is that part of that journey, being honest with,
Mhm.
and you really have to be honest, even if it's gonna hurt. You have to be honest. So listen, make sure you download that app, 101 TKO Radio app. We'll be right back. And we are back live on 101 TKO Radio in the mail room. Listen, we have to wrap it up. Yeah, we're going to have to do a part two. It is so much more to discuss. I think we got off onto a good start answering the question and, just really pinpointing some key points. And so before we wrap up, again, thank y'all so much for joining. Coach Pleasant, tell us how we can connect with you and get your services, y'all. Because again, she's a dating coach. She gave y'all some nuggets, some complimentary nuggets. Now it's you need to take it further. So how can we connect with you?
DUE, duecoaching.com,
Docoaching.com.
which
And
is
you
DUE
okay.
coaching.com. It's one word.
Gotcha. Docoaching.com. And on there they can connect with your services.
Yes. I'm also on Instagram. So they can message inbox me from there, or they can do it on my website.
Awesome. Awesome. Coach Evelyn, communicator. How
Yes.
can we connect with you?
My book, True Speak Some Real Reasons Men and Women Don't Communicate, is available at evelynwhitney.com. And I am you can follow me on Facebook, Evelyn Whitney Books, Instagram and Twitter, Whitney Books, and my YouTube channel, Evelyn Whitney. Every Sunday on Facebook, I'm running a current activity of calling Sensible Sundays. It's just a
Yeah.
nugget for life advice for helping to make better decisions.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love reading them, reading them every Sunday. So I appreciate that. And again, I appreciate you all giving your insight and professionalism on this subject of dating because again, it had me wondering as a married woman, like what is really going on out here in these streets, like because I do have friends that are getting married now. So I'm like is it really that bad? Evelyn, you said you had a closing thought.
Yes, as a final thought, I'd like to offer this for consideration. There are people who will say, accept me as I am, because that's just the way that I am. And that's just
Mm,
supposed to be good enough for
yeah.
any relationship circumstance. And that is not true. You can
Mm,
say, accept me as I am, regarding the kind of person you are. If you have light skin, if you have brown eyes, if you have a tendency to do a lot of different things, if you're a natural multitasker, yes,
mhm,
accept those things about the person. But there
mhm.
are people who are toxic, habitually rude, conditionally dysfunctional, and they
Yes.
are the ones who say, deal with me as I am, or you're the one in the wrong. No,
Mhm.
that is not the way that that statement is supposed to be applied. Accept
Right.
me as I am in the ways that are my healthiest self. If
Yeah.
you cannot do that, then you can walk. But the other dysfunctional things that people have embraced about themselves that they don't want to change are not
Mm,
necessarily to be imposed upon the other person. You are good enough as a human being, but that doesn't mean you are good enough for a relationship. And there's a
mhm.
distinction that people need to make.
Wow. That's deep. I like that. Yeah. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for that, Evelyn. Any closing final thoughts from you, Coach?
Okay. The thing is that you cannot change a person. The only person you can change is yourself.
Yeah.
And me and seven other coaches write radical self love. So
Mm,
at the end of the day, you can fight all day and all night with another person, with all those person that you're coming across. But when you work on yourself, when
mm,
you stop saying like, I can do good all by myself, don't mean it. Your actions say differently from what you're saying, or I rather be alone than be unhappy. It's the word sometimes that we are saying. I rather be alone for
yeah.
now in the present than
Mm-hmm.
being unhappy with someone that is not fit for me. So words, finding yourself, finding a coach, finding motivational speaker, finding person like you and Evelyn, finding that kind of space, platform, information, whatever it may be for you, because I didn't know that something was wrong with me, but I didn't know where to find it when,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
I have this kind of mentality that I grew up with. Oh, you are good because you can do this for a man and this for a man and this for a man, and men don't know what they want. That's what
Yeah.
I grew up on. That's everything that men don't know what they want. And so we would always have this thing, I'm the good person, I can cook, I can clean, I can do da, da, da.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, my mindset was that they are no good. Men are no good. My father
Mm-hmm.
left my mother. My aunt husband leave him. This one divorced that. And we see all these negative, and we implant it in here, and then we go around. And so the thing is that change yourself with
Yeah.
whatever, however you can. And when
Yeah.
you do that, heal, release, forgive, change your thoughts, change your circumstances, change your space, who you communicate with. Negative people, they
Mm-hmm.
keep on. You have some negative friends, and you will never find a partner. These are friends
Yeah.
in your ears. So change those kind of circumstances, and then you will start to create that kind of balance, that kind of energy and alignment to meet that person, and you will
Yeah.
meet that person.
Yeah. I agree. I like what both of you said. I definitely agree. Nelson, did you have any last words from a male's perspective on the single and mingling?
No, not really. I mean, saying I just said, as far as the men's concerned, I think, just continue to just do right for, by yourself and,
Yeah.
saying the women or even the potential that you're,
Yeah.
interested in and everything. So you
Yeah.
got to be honest to yourself,
That.
exactly, what you want. And then from there,
Yeah.
you'll come across the right one.
Yeah, that honesty piece, that is so crucial. That no matter how it sounds, it's not going. It may not be favorable, but that honesty piece from the get go, the jump, like
That took a long time for me. I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie.
yeah. It took a long time for me as the woman to accept a man's honesty. And that's why I was, because I lack self-love, and that's why I'm a self-love coach versus a
Yes.
dating coach and a marriage coach, because
Mhm.
I knew it had to be me. If I'm attracting the same type of men over and over again, and I'm accepting, as Evelyn said, they're take me as I am, and I'm trying to change them, like Coach said, it was me, and I
Because
have,
you weren't honest with yourself. So the
right, I
honesty
was
start
not.
with oneself first.
Yeah. And when it took me a long time to become one with myself and honest. And then when I did that, it was like, oh, okay. And so I wasn't, I didn't have to, it was okay. And I made it my normalcy to say no, or I don't have to accept this type of behavior
Yes.
because, you
Yes.
know,
Exactly.
I wasn't desperate for a man or this, that, another, but at the same time, and this is why I tell women, we have to start listening, and really, and not just women, but men as well, because there are a lot of wholehearted, good men that really want good
True.
relationships,
True.
and they go
True.
through the same thing. But we
Same
have to
thing.
start listening to, when that person show who they are the first time, you
Yeah.
gotta believe them.
Move. Yes, it's true.
They're
It
not,
is true.
they ain't sending no representatives, they sending themselves. So on that note, I thank you, ladies, and Lauren had to jump off, but I thank you all so much for joining. I'm taking notes because again, I want us to come back and do another part to this, and and just really kind of depth, because I really do want my friends and family who desire to be in good relationships and healthy
Yes.
relationships. I
Yes.
want them to know that it is
It's
out there.
possible.
It is possible.
Yes.
And I got some good looking friends, so I ain't worried about that. y'all are cute. Like, what's going on? So
True.
there are good people out here
Out
that
there.
want the same
Yes.
thing.
Both men and women.
Yes, men both. They want the same thing. So
Mhm.
listen, make sure you get your tickets to the listening party happening September 23rd. That is the purpose of this show. That is a culminating activity where we are going to sit back. And it's virtual, you guys, so you can sit at home, make your meal, get some popcorn, and listen to the dope panel that I have. I have 10 guys on there. I'll be announcing the final panelists today, and we're going to sit back and listen to what the guys are telling us from their perspective. So get your tickets. They're only $21 on IamTrinetteLCollier.com. Get those tickets now. And I still have vendor opportunities, virtual vendor opportunities. Go onto that website if you would like to be a vendor or if you would just like to buy your ticket. $21. You don't want to miss this. It is the TMR listening party, virtual listening party this year. And we'll be back in person next year, but this year is virtual. So ladies, thank you so much. And again, go onto the website. Download that app. We got some big things happening with 101 TKO Radio. Y'all, I'm trying to tell you, don't want to miss this train. You do not want to miss it at all. Download that app, sign up on the website, all of that good stuff. And let's stay connected, y'all. Let's stay connected. Let's get these folks married or just dated. Dating. Let's
Yes.
get them dating.
Definitely.
Positive dating. So thank you, ladies, again for joining me. Um, yeah, I enjoyed it. I like y'all opened my eyes and thank y'all so much for your
Thank you
expertise.
so much
Thank
for
you for
having me.
your
Thank you.
Yes,
no problem. So
pleasure
listen
always.
out there. Until next week, same time, same place. And if you have a topic that you want us to discuss, hit me up, DM me, or hit me at Trinette at I am Trinette L. Collier. Get me what you want to talk about, and we'll talk about it right here live on 101 TKO Radio in the mailroom. Until next week, peace. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.